Hello everyone. In today's episode, we will take a look at another 8 important commands you should know that will enhance your experience when you use the Linux operating system. We will explain the following commands: seq, sed, screen, ssh, sort, split, tail, and tar, giving also a quick demo of usage in different scenarios that you can use to improve the way you experience Linux and the terminal. So the first thing we'll look at is seq for sequence is used to generate numbers from first to last in increment. The second thing we'll look at is sed is a powerful stream editor that can perform functions on files. The third thing we'll look at is screen. Use multiple shell sessions from a single SSH session. The fourth thing we'll look at is SSH. Allows you to start a secure connection to a remote server. The fifth thing we'll look at is sort. Is used to sort a file and its records in a particular order. The sixth thing we'll look at is split. Is used to split large files into smaller ones. The seventh thing we'll look at is tail. Prints the last n number of data of the given input file. And the eighth thing we'll look at is tar. Is used to create archive files and extract them back. So to explain a bit more of all these commands, we'll give a wider definition of each one before we begin. seq for sequence is used to generate numbers from first to last in steps of increment. It is a very useful command where we had to generate list of numbers in while, for, until loop. Sed command is a powerful stream editor that can perform lots of functions on files like searching, find and replace substitution, insertion or deletion. Though most of the time, using sed command in Linux is for substitution and to find and replace different expressions. By using sed, you can edit files even without opening them, which is a much quicker way to find and replace something in a file than first opening that file in a VI or nano editor and then changing it. Sed also supports regular expression, which allows it to perform complex pattern matching and specially used in bug bounty hunting when it comes to offensive security. Screen command. It provides the ability to launch and use multiple shell sessions from a single SSH session. When a process is started with screen, the process can be detached from a session and then can reattach to the session at a later time. When the session is detached, the process that was originally started from the screen is still running and managed by the screen itself. The process can then reattach the session at a later time and all the terminals are still there the way they were left. SSH command is used to start the SSH client program that enables secure connection to the SSH server on a remote machine. The SSH command is used from logging into the remote machine, transferring files between the machines, and for executing commands on the remote machine. Sort command is used to sort a file, arranging the records in a particular order. By default, the sort command sorts files, assuming the contents are in ASCII. Using options in sort command can also be used to sort numerically and perform more arguments. Split command is used to split large files into smaller files. It splits the files into 1000 lines per file by default and even allows users to change the number of lines as per requirement. Tail command. It is the complementary of head command. The tail command, as the name implies, prints the last n numbers of data of the given input. By default, it prints the last 10 lines of the specified files. If more than one file name is provided, then data from each file is preceded by its file name. It can be used to tail a log file that constantly gets data and prints it whenever it does in real time. Tar command. The Linux tar stands for tape archive and is used to create archives and extract archive files. Tar command in Linux is one of the most important commands which provides archiving functionalities in Linux. We can use Linux tar command to create compressed or uncompressed archive files and also maintain and modify them. So let's jump in. So as you can see, first we're gonna type seq and then followed by help. These are all of the parameters and make sure to check the usage as well in order to modify them. So in order to explain as an example for you to understand how you can use it, we just entered SEQ10, which created a sequence from 1 to 10 in the terminal. So you can do this as well, and you can add more to it. So now we're going to do a different type of sequence, and as you can see, it has done the 2, 9, 16 based on the sequence between them. So in order to do it a bit more advanced, this also can be used by adding words, and then you can define a sequence so it can generate based on the sequence. So by providing a -f for function, you can add, as you can see from here, this is the format. So the format is containing in expressions a word followed by the sign that you can see from here, which is the %02. Then we're going to close this after the G in order to generate a sequence for one time. So you can see it has created BHEH01 as a sequence. So if I want to create 1337 for leet, you can see it has created them in a second. So this is very useful, especially for coding. Another example we're going to look at is sed. So you can check from the help file, it can be customized to perform a lot of things. This is one of the most important commands when it comes to bounty and coding as well. So in order to show you an example, we're going to browse into a file you can see from here. We're going to create a txt file, as you can see, and we're going to enter Perl scripting as values followed by the word language. So now this expression is contained in the text file, and we're going to show you how you can cat it. So by catting it, you can pipe it and then add the following sed argument. It's going to replace the word Perl with bash globally. So in order to do this, you can see now that it says bash scripting language instead of Perl scripting language. So moving on, we're going to use the command screen. So there are several options you can use in order to use screen as well as part of your SSH session. So this is a really good command and very important because you can browse into different types of SSH sessions, close them, and then screen them without losing. As you can see from this example, we're jumping from one SSH session, screening to another one. So SSH, as you can see from here, we're gonna SSH into root. You can check the options as well. This is gonna allow you to SSH into specific commands, and we have added the neofetch in order to show you that we are already in a different session. You can exit as well each session from SSH. So we have combined SSH in order to help you understand how screen works. This is why we had to talk a bit on SSH, because it involves SSH when you can switch between one session to another. So moving now to sort command. Sort is gonna allow us to sort from a file based on the sorting preferences that we need to do. As you can see, there are mandatory arguments that you can use, and it's important as well to look into them in order to customize the way you're going to be using it. So in order to demonstrate this, we have created also several files here, and we're going to sort a file with -nr, the specific text file. So you can see it has randomly generated the list in comparison to what it contains initially. So from 101, 102, now it randomly has sorted the specific file into different values. You can also specifically set arguments to sort it in a specific way. And now moving to another command, we're going to be showing as well the command split. So split command, as you can see from here, is also very useful, and it contains a lot of arguments that you can use, especially when you want to be splitting files. So you can see now we're going to attempt to split a file, as you can see from the different files that we have from here. So we're going to split the file text.txt, and this has split the file into 3 different files that contain the different values from each one. So this is the first option, and it has added AA, AB, and AC in splits of 2. So there is 2 values in each file, and the last one, since it has the final value, it split them into 3 different files. Now we're going to move to the next command, which is the tail command. You can see from here, we're going to try to attempt a scan on the right side, and we're going to save the results into a file. We will be tailing it in order to show you in real time how you can extract the data by tailing a specific file, for example, used after log files or in real time. So we're going to run an nmap command, as you can see, on the specific subnet that you see from here, and we're going to use the -o in order to save it into localscan.txt. So on the left side, what we will do now is we're going to tail the file as nmap is still working. So tailing is going to give you details about the status of a file, like head, which is going to display the first characters of the text file. You can also use it in order to tail completely the file in real time and see whenever it gets data. So in this example, we showed 3 different lines in order to show you the status of a file. So moving now to the tar command, we're going to show you how you can use tar in order to compress a file and then extract it on the same line. So we have created a name file. As you can see from here, it's called file, and we're going to attempt to specifically compress it. So depending on the arguments, -czvf is going to compress the file into a gz format, as you can see from here, and added everything that has to do with the word file inside it. So now that we have it, we're going to remove it, and you can see now in red it's called file.tar.gz. So this is a compressed file, and now we're going to do the opposite. What we will do, based on the arguments that you can see from the left side, we're going to attempt to extract it just like as we created an archive out of it. So you can create archives and then you can extract them just like zip, but on Linux this one compresses faster, and the way it works is really easy. So now we're going to uncompress it using the -xzvf and then followed by the archive file that we created. You can see now it has successfully extracted the files, as you can see from here. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and as always, until next time.